All right, guys, I'm back. This is going to be part 10 of the Qbert. I am going to work on putting this coin door together. I have all the internal parts here. They're a little dusty. I'll probably wipe them off afterwards. I think they got like overspray or something on them from the previous people. I did get a couple of these out, these 25-cent pieces. Let's see if they fit in here. These things are stuck. They're like melted in there. Never had them stick that bad. Unless somebody stuck them in there. Kind of feels like they're sticky. But yeah, it's a perfect fit. So once those light up, that'll look a lot nicer. You can actually see it in there. So there's the one. Do this other one real quick. This one doesn't look too bad, but might as well make them both look the same. It is definitely discolored a little bit. Nowhere near as bad as the other side. Yeah, these were a sticker. All right, got that taken care of. So now let's see what we got to do here, because I truthfully do not remember. Get our coin mix out of the way. This spring was laying in the bottom of the box. I think it goes to this part, one of these, but I'm not positive. I'll have to look around and see where it goes. Just put that off to the side. So the first thing I need to do is work on putting this together. We have our coin chutes here. So those got to drop in there. They just kind of sit in there. We have to put these in, which they're going to go this way. Just got to try to, hopefully they won't fall out. I have those other parts, where the other red part's at. Here we go. The coin chutes, which looks like they go either direction. There's no up or down. So stick those in. Okay. Now, this is the bolts I'm looking for, which is good. I need a Phillips screwdriver bit, which I got one right here. So let me find the bolts that we need. Well, the pile of nuts and bolts are dwindling down, which is a good thing. Okay, I got quite a few of them there. So now, I'm going to say that goes this way. Oh, you know what? I need a springs. Here's one, here's two. Okay, I got the springs. We'll just slide one on for now because we're only going to bolt one side on at a time. Get a screw. Of course, this one's not magnetic. I'm going to have to find a magnetic one, I think. Actually, there's crushed walnut shells stuck inside of the screw head. I'm gonna have to do that to every one. I got to change out that crushed walnut shells. I've used it a few times now, and I think it's turning to more and more of a powder. So it's time to change it out for some new, which I have 2 bags of it still, or close to 2 bags. Not going to go too tight. Yeah, Yeah, I'm gonna throw that stuff away when I have the rest of the bolts from Dig Dug in there. I need to get those out, and then I'll just throw it away. Probably gonna have to look up what kind of bulbs this take, because neither one of these have a bulb in them, so I'm not sure what bulb. I know what kind it takes, but I don't know what size bulb. Let me get this one started over here. Spring in. What do I got going on here? Is this upside down? Oh, you know what? I got this on the wrong side. Oh boy, gotta start over. I need to switch this to this side. I did it backwards. This one I could probably leave the screw in there a little bit, because it has like a slip on it. I could slip it out, I think. Yeah, wishful thinking. Oh well. So I need to put this like this. So let's put this spring on here. We'll do this side first then. Wow, that just does not want to go in. Let's try this one. I'm going to tighten these three now, just so it doesn't move. Let's start on the next top three. I'm going to have to wire all this up and everything, because I want the coin mechanisms to work, but I'm obviously going to have it on free play. But if I were ever to get rid of it and somebody wanted to use it as a coin operated, they can. A toothpick, you should probably use a toothpick to clean this out rather than a sharp knife blade. I almost just cut myself. Carpet fuzz. And yes, I'm always vacuuming down here because pretty much I'm always making a mess. Eventually I'd like to get some glow in the dark carpet, but it's just so expensive. At some point I'll do it. I don't, probably not for a little while though. Want to get these games finished up first. Yeah, they have that black light carpet. I'd really like to get it in carpet squares, but I think they only sell it by the roll. Squares would be a lot easier to deal with. Then if you got a stain or something too, you can just pop a square out rather than having to cut a big chunk out and replace it. Okay, now we got to get the bottom in, which are 2 screws per side on the bottom. Got to sneak it in under the chute, or the whatever you want to call that. Okay, I'm gonna have to find more of these screws. I need 3 more. Kind of a pain. Three more of those. I hope they were all in there, but once again, I'm not sure. Here's 1, 2, need 1 more. Kind of hope I have it because that's kind of an odd screw. I definitely know I don't have any more of those style. And I'm not seeing the last one. Well, I guess I'll look for it in a little bit here because I don't see it. Might be missing one. I mean, there is an odd screw right here that I have no more of, just one. I'm wondering if this is what they used for the last one. I'm guessing that's what it is because I only have one of that weird looking one. So that's gonna be my guess is what they did. They probably lost one. And see, but these are machine screws. And they do have 3 per thing. Actually, this one has them in the bottom already. They're still in there. So I'm only really missing 1. I might actually have something I can put in here. I wasn't paying attention that this was a machine screw, so it's just a real small one, like a number 4. I hate missing hardware. I like to just have it all. Probably have to get a screwdriver for that inside one. Let's get this one started here. Oh, you know what? Oh no, I'm still missing one. I gotta grab a screwdriver. My drill will not fit in there. And let me go see if I have any screws. These are all the different kind of machine screws I have. I don't know that there's gonna be one in there small enough. It sucks that I'm missing one. And I know I didn't lose it because I cleaned, I siphoned walnut shells like 4 times through the strainer to make sure I got everything. Oh, we're gonna be all right. I think I got one right here. I think we're gonna be all right. Best thing you can do is if you have a lot of arcade games, go to Home Depot, Lowe's, buy those little bags of these in different sizes. I found it. It's right here on the ground. Awesome. So I am not missing one. Perfect. I have them all. so I can put this one back in the bin. But go to Home Depot or Lowe's, and you could buy these really cheap. You can get like a package of like, it'll come with like 10 of these and 10 nuts for like $1.38. And just buy yourself a box for $10 and just fill it with all the different sizes and lengths that you need, washers, all this stuff, and you have it around. And it really comes in handy rather than having to stop your project all the time because you got to run out and get more hardware. I can't believe I found that. It was just sitting right on the carpet. I wonder if it was maybe in one of these and it fell out, because it doesn't look like it got cleaned very well. So I'm guessing it never came out of here. You get lucky every once in a while. Okay, so that's done. This, obviously, we're gonna have to put a plug end on this. Some of these wires are cut. We'll get a plug end. We'll probably cut it back to here, or actually it's all the way back to there. So we'll probably have to cut it right there, get our end on it, and then we'll put an end on the other end of the JAMA harness so that we can wire this up correctly. Let me go grab a lock, 2 of them, so that we can get these locks in first, and then we can put the coin mechs in. Okay, I grabbed a pair of locks that I just took out of Buck Hunter Safari when I sold it. I took my locks off of it because I don't want to lose all my matching locks. On that game, I use this little collar, but on this one, I don't think we need it. No, we do not. So I'll put this in upside down. Go this way with it. Let's get our nut on. Bend it a little bit. Too much. There we go. That's good. So let's get these coin mechs in here. Okay, that spring there. This side's where the spring goes. I knew I'd find it. Try to figure out, make sure I'm putting this in the right way. Okay. Okay, that one's in. Get the spring on here. That's easy enough. This one in. Where's our eject button here? Oh, I gotta put these on. Where the heck do these go? Oh man, I gotta unscrew that. They go in there. There we go. Back to taking the top apart. Hopefully I can just take the top apart. I'm going to disconnect the springs on both of these so that they're not in my way, because now I got to take both tops apart. There we go. definitely not familiar with this coin door. I've never done one before. So that'll go there and then it'll push down. Okay. So that's one. Come on. Okay, let's put our springs back in. It's kind of a pain in the butt. Beautiful. Spin that around. Okay. Almost time for my nightly golden tea. We've been trying to play it every night. I have 2019 golden tea, and I think there's 70 some or 80 some courses on there. I'm not positive, but that looks, look at how nice that looks with those polished up and everything. Okay, let's get this bottom lock on. This nut seems to be a little messed up. There we go. This video I'll finish up tomorrow. I did part 9 earlier. I figured I'd work for a little bit longer. Okay, we're hitting, which means I might have to cut that down. This is too long. It's hitting the wood right here. So I'm gonna have to cut that metal down a little bit for it to fit correctly. So for now, I'll just leave it like that. And then if you remember, this upper coin door right here, remember all this was busted out? That's where I used that JB weld. Look at how nice that turned out. You can't even tell that that was up there. So here's our coin box, which I might eventually soak this in some bleach. But for now, we'll just stick it in there. If I have anything down here to cut that with. I don't think I do. I'm gonna have to take it out in the shop and cut it back with the grinder, because I'm pretty positive I don't have anything down here to cut that. So we'll just leave it like that for now. All right, so the coin door is all together. I guess we'll spin the cabinet around, work on the back for a few. Okay, let's get this knocker mounted right where it originally went, which was right here, like this. I don't have the screws for it, so I'm going to use some newer screws. They look the same. They're just new. Keep wanting to put it the wrong way. I'll probably vacuum it out in there. It's a little dusty. Now I need to put these legs on the PCB. There's the tiny little baby J-Rock board. See if we can get these on there. I was going to mount this to the back door, but the more I think about it, there's really no point. It's just going to make more of a headache. So we'll just put it in here, and I think I'll probably put it on this side. Keep it on the opposite side of the other wiring. I got to run the speaker wire up there, but we can go, honestly, there's like holes right here. So I think the speaker wire went this way up to the speaker originally. So we'll just keep it like that. Every once in a while you'll get one of these standoffs that have plastic inside the nut, and they don't want to thread on. And I'm only going to run Qbert in this cabinet. I'm not going to run the other games. Okay. I think I'm going to use 4 of these new screws as well for this. Try to keep everything matching so that if you ever go to take something apart, you don't need a bunch of tools to work on it. I'm gonna put it down here. Now, since I'm going to use a jammer harness in this cabinet, I'm going to make this like a dedicated harness for this cabinet only. I'm going to cut off the extra wires and stuff that we're not going to need, just to try to give it a little bit of a cleaner look, because I don't really want to have all these wires just everywhere. We'll get rid of all the player 2, up, down, right, left, joystick and all that. I'm probably going to take them off right at the connector, just to get them out of the way. But I gotta first see, I'll have to download the wiring diagram for this So these are my power wires. This is player 1 and player 2. This is my video cable. This is my coin wires. So I know my coin wires are going to go that way. My video cable is going to come up this way. Oh, you know what? My speaker wires are in here. So let me cut this zip tie. A little pair of cutters. Ugh. They didn't put ends on the speaker wires? Huh. They always have ends on them. That is weird. So what I want to do is untangle these from all the other wires. Just kind of put them off to the side. And we'll take our coin wires here, which I believe green is one side, gray is the other, and black is your ground for it. I didn't put ends on any of these wires. I think I ordered this from Arcade Shop. It's weird. Okay, we'll have those go that way. These are going to go up here. And I think I'm going to put the video wires in with it. You know, I'm gonna leave the video wires dangling for now because I always like testing the monitor on the floor rather than in the cabinet. So for now, we'll just leave them out. We can slide them right into these clips. It's not a big deal. I'm actually going to take these right now and just run them through this clamp. I got to put another one of those up there. So my video wires will go through this one, and then they're going to go, I don't know if they'll make it through that. No, probably just the one. All right. So there's my speakers. Player 1 on JAMA harness is always the one that has the loop of ground wires. I think that's all we're going to need out of the player 2 side is the start button, which is the brown one. This brown wire here will be player 2 start. So this should be the only wire we need out of the player 2 side. But I'm not gonna start cutting wires until I verify that, because it should just be up, down, right, left on the player 1 side, which means all this player 2 can go. So technically all these wires should be able to come out of the cabinet, and half of these wires, because we're only going to need red, orange, yellow, and green, and brown and black on this side. So basically we're going to lose the purple, the gray, the white, the blue, purple, gray, white, blue, pink. We're going to lose all those wires. So then I have to figure out the knocker, which that I'm not sure what wire is used for the knocker yet. There's got to be a signal wire, so I don't know what they're using for the signal wire. And I'm pretty sure we're not going to use this 5-volt negative for this board. And I don't even know if these J-Rocks use 12 volts or not. I have to figure that out. And then this is going to be a test switch. Test switch and probably a coin switch. I want to put all these in because I have the I have this. So we will make an end that plugs into this. So there's our coin credit button, and this should be our service switch, and this will be our volume. Now I don't think the volume is going to work because it's a JAMA and it has a volume knob on the board. So I'm pretty much going to say that's not going to work. But we can mount this right here. Let's see if I can get my drill in there. Okay. Okay, that's on. We also have to run 5 volts. Well, no, I take that back. I need to see what those coin mech lights run on. If they're running on 6.3 volts, 5 volts, 12 volts, I'm just not sure yet. 13 volts, I don't know. I don't know if the power brick goes to that or not. So that's something else I need to figure out. And also we need to solder some wires on the power brick. We're missing the, I gotta change that capacitor, that big blue capacitor, which I have the new one sitting right next to it, but we need to transfer the wires. I believe the original one was soldered on, and I might have to put crimp loops on the end and bolt them onto the new one. Let me go see if I have an end plug. We'll change that, and then I'm probably going to stop for tonight, and then I'll pick it back up tomorrow. I don't know if I have a plug end or not. Okay, I got a new plug end here. So we're going to cut this one off, and we're going to put this new one on. I think back in the day, to be an operator, in order to get a license or whatever you had to do, you had to rip the ground plug out. Because I have not found a game yet, I think maybe one, that still had that on there. It's amazing. Nobody wants to ground anything. Try to carefully strip this. I wonder if these automatic strippers would work to just get that outer shield off. Nope. Took all of it. Start over. Sorry about that. Had to pause it for a second. Okay. I'm gonna have to carefully try to get this outer shielding off. Actually, you know what? That outer shield is the wire. There's not a, I thought maybe like this green wire, I thought there was going to be like a white one and a black one in there, but there's not. Okay. I like to strip these a little farther so I can wrap them around the terminal. Now, we need to make sure that we run this wire through here, and we make sure that we don't run our screw that holds this shut through the center of the wire. Okay, now we get a nice grounded plug, so we don't have to worry about that. Let me make sure it's grounded in here. Okay, when we put in the power brick, we need to put this onto the ground of the power brick. And those are factory crimp connectors, as far as I can tell. All right, let me look up, so that we can eliminate some of these wires. Let me look up how it's wired. Okay, I looked it up, and we're not using anything on the Player 2 except for the start button. So we can eliminate those wires. Now, pin H, which is on the other side of 8, is coin counter number 2. That needs to go to the knocker relay. There is currently no wire on there. We're going to have to solder a wire on there and run it over to the knocker. So that gives us the pulse that it needs. And then we need to take a 12-volt line from the knocker. There already is a resistor on here, or yeah, ohm resistor on here. We have to take that 12 volts to the 12 volts on the power supply, and that'll make that knocker work. So let's come in here with my cutters, and let's take this zip tie off here for now. We'll re-zip tie this later. I just want to get rid of all these number Player 2 wires. I don't want them in here. Cut them right off, flush. We'll just leave the shrink tube on it. And I always save these wires because you can always use them in the future. Okay, we got all our button wires cut. Now we got to do our up, down, right, and left. Cut the right and left, up and down. Okay, so those are all out of here. And something's telling me that, well, we should be all right. I do need to mess with these. I need to figure out these coin wires, because the one gray wire was going to the Player 2 button, so I'm thinking those might not be, or the gray one must not have been a coin wire, but we could figure that out after. That's not the end of the world. So this is our Player 2 start. So we need that. This is our ground. Here's our green wire, and here's a green wire. Okay. This black and green, that's Player 2 coin. This other thin green on here is Player 1 coin, which is going to this little plug here. Not sure what the yellow wire does. That might be 12 volts. Yes, it is 12 volts. So this is 12 volts. So if those light bulbs handle 12 volts, we have our 12 volts for the coin door lights. But I probably could put a 12 volt bulb in there. Just trying to untangle this mess. So this is going to go this way along with this. It's all going to the coin door. So let's put a loop right here so that we have all these on there. Okay, now let's go to our player 1 here. We only need up, down, right, left, and ground. So we're going to cut off button 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. So we're going to take the green off, the pink off, the white off, the gray off, the blue and purple. Obviously, if I was going to play more than one game on here, I wouldn't be able to do this, but the control panel would have to have a bunch of holes drilled in it so that you can play other games, because some of the games need buttons, I believe, if I remember correctly. I didn't really pay that much attention to it. And like I said, I want to make a harness that will plug in to the control panel. So here's our control panel wires. 2 starts, up, down, right, left. We're just going to drape that over front for now. We need to cut those, hook them in, make a plug between the 2. So that'll take care of that. We'll run it through here with those. Now these are our service switch and test switch, and our ground for it. So let me cut this. Actually, no, I need this ground for the, I'm going to cut it because we're going to have to splice it into the plug for the controls anyways. So this is our ground wire, and we're also going to have to tie it in for our coin. So one of these is coin and one of them is service. I'm not sure yet which is which. So that goes there. Now that's just leaving us with these 4 here and the 4 video, which this goes to our power supply. And I'm going to look up and see if they recommend that -5 volts or not. I'm going to say probably not. So let's go get the power supply and get that mounted in here next. Okay, I looked it up. It says this board needs 5 volts only. So we only need the 5 volts and the ground. But I don't think putting the 12 volts is going to hurt it. It says it only needs 5 volts. I'm pretty positive I hooked 12 volts up to the other one. But I'll leave it for now because I'm just not sure. Because it'd be nice to have that 12 volts for the coin door. But I can always cut it here and splice it. That's not an issue. I'm going to get rid of this -5. We don't need it. Here's our new power supply from Arcade Shop. Isuzu Hap. I got to put these brackets on the bottom here so we can mount it in the cabinet. I'm trying to buy a lot of the better quality power supplies and stuff because they just work better. Cleaner power. I mean, you buy some of this stuff on eBay or whatever, you don't know what you're getting. I think I'll probably cut that 12 volts and splice it together just to be on the safe side. So let's hook this up. We got our 5 volts positive. And we'll check the voltage before we turn, we'll unplug the circuit board and check it before we plug this game in. We're not anywhere near ready to do that yet. The power brick and everything's got to get done. Video number 10 might end after I get this stuff hooked up, because doing the power brick and all that stuff is going to be pretty time consuming as well. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to cut this 12 off. I just don't feel comfortable having it on there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to splice this, and we're going to just cap it. We're going to just do a crimp connector cap, these two together. And if I need to disconnect it, we'll disconnect it. Let me grab a cap for that and we'll crimp it on. Should have some right over here somewhere. Of course, here they are. So we're going to put one of these caps on there, kind of like those off-white ones that they originally used. Same thing. All right. So now we're connected straight over to there. And then we can plug it into the power supply here. Okay. Now I think I want to put the power supply right over this way more. And then we'll tie up the wires. And oh, you know what? The power brick goes there. Duh. Let's put it over here. Let's see how we have wire-wise. Trying to make up some of the slack on the wiring. We're going to mount it right back there. I don't know if you guys can see what I'm doing. I'll show you here in a second where I'm mounting it. So that's where I mounted it. Kind of in the way. There we go. And then what I'll do is I'll tie these wires up and we'll put them nice and neat along the back there. Power brick will go there. So we still have quite a bit to get done. Speakers up here. I can feel the terminals. One I think might be smaller than the other. I have another one of these speakers. I'll have to check the terminal size. I think I'm just going to crimp terminal ends onto there and put them onto the speaker rather than soldering it up there. So let me go check the other speaker and see what size terminal ends I need. Okay, the positive is the bigger one. I think it's 0.25 or something like that, and this is 1.87 for the negative. So now I just need to see which wire is which. So the player one side looks to be marked positive. So the negative has writing on it and the positive does not have writing on it. So I'm going to try to figure out about how much wire I need. I'm going to cut it there. So the positive does not have writing. So let me get my crimpers here. Let's strip these back. We don't need to strip a lot. going on here? Okay. So we got to make sure we put this rubber boot on first. This one has no writing. Which is just going to fall right off probably. Let's get these in the tool here. This one's messed up. See if I can straighten it, or I'll just get another one if not. I might have fixed it. Okay, so we're positive. Let's get our negative done. I think after I hook up the speaker, I'm going to end this video. Try not to make these things too long. I'd rather make an extra couple parts than a 2.5 hour video that nobody's going to watch. Okay. Slide these back out of here. I had that latch holding them in place. Now I got to try to feel up there which one's the fatter one for the positive. It's on the right side. Okay, that one's on. Okay. Guess the positive one was not on. Thought it was on. Must have slipped between the boot and the terminal. There we go. Okay, they're both on. Stick this back in there. Okay, that's done. So now our speaker's hooked up. So I guess the next part is going to be, let's finish the wiring. Let's get it all tied in place, make it all look nice and neat, and then we can get a monitor plugged in and stuff. So hopefully the next video we'll finish the wiring, put the power brick in, and then might not be till the following video before we test it. So, all right, guys, thanks for watching. If you like what you're seeing, please like and subscribe. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to send them. Other than that, I will see you guys later. Thanks.